Hi, and welcome to the Balancing Act New York edition. I'm Montel Williams. We're bringing you community stories and introducing you to businesses and people who are making a difference. So let's see who's making a difference right here in your neighborhood.
Coming up on today's show, learn what it takes to be a responsible leader in the world of education. See how one legal firm is helping hard-working men and women who were injured on the job. Discover the smart way to buy a new or pre-owned car. And much more.
Whether you're a child or an adult, it's never too late to learn something new. Check this out.
Now more than ever, Americans face an important crossroads in the history of this country. We'll need a fresh crop of leaders to overcome the educational challenges that lay ahead.
So leadership is hard, right? And I would say leadership is harder than actually getting the job that gives you the title of being a leader. The key is actually knowing the community, knowing the context, understanding root issues, and owning the problems that not only you are encountering in that moment, but the history. And that's part of the problem within our schools and society today, is that we're not willing to own the things that happened, the harm that existed before we arrived on scene.
If we're really honest, this is just factual. Public schools were started in 1635. It was designed for white male students. That same system is the system that we're now trying to educate white students, black students, Latinx students, indigenous students, Native, all these students from different backgrounds in a system that was designed for one group. Equity is a buzzword right now, but we define equity as each person, both children and adults, getting what they each need in a system that is designed to center their needs.
With 18 years of experience turning educators into leaders, the Leadership Academy is an organization that's built around the core principle that every child in school deserves a chance to grow and excel.
Our schools are like the nucleus, right, of our community. They sit at the center. We have this false notion that our schools are in some ways separate from society, that when we walk into our schools, we walk through this veil, and our kids and our teachers and our leaders, but really, the problems of society live within our schools. Everything that we're experiencing on a day-to-day basis, everything we read about in the news, everything that is going on in our society, they also live as a microcosm within our schools. That is why schools, represent such a huge lever for change within our society. The Leadership Academy started in 2003, so we're almost 20 years old. And we started specifically to support the aspiring principal. We wanted to diversify the role of school leader in New York City. There are more women and more leaders of color in that role. The other thing we wanted to do is to make sure that our leaders were leaders for social justice.
At the Leadership Academy, we believe that the principal is the key driver or lever for change at the unit of the school. There's this whole myth around being a born natural leader. No, leadership can be cultivated, developed, taught, their skills, their practices. Often we think that it's like once you finish school, you're done learning, but learning is a lifelong endeavor. And so we have a set of beliefs about the ways in which adults learn that are anchored in research and practice.
When I became superintendent, I was really looking for an organization of experts around leadership at all levels to help me navigate my school system as a new superintendent. The Leadership Academy impacted me greatly, and I would say impacted me in a very positive way. To be able to partner with an organization that understands leadership and is courageous in its approach to address equity. And in fact, I would say they're unapologetic.
So my experience with the Leadership Academy probably spans decades, from my first year as a principal all the way up until I became executive superintendent of the Bronx, the brownest borough in New York City. My why is rooted in interrupting systemic racism, creating opportunities to close the achievement gap for students of color.
The person who's the best person for the program has a vision. They think they have a calling for leadership, and we come in and we work with you where you are to move your practice forward. And if you say, I have the will, but I might not have the skill, I can work with you.
We're the partner you call when you want someone who understands your experience, someone who has been in your role, someone who will tell you the truth, someone who will hold up a big mirror to yourself and help you see how your leadership either advances or gets in the way of your mission.
If you want to have an authentic learning experience, if you want to learn from practitioners in the field, the Leadership Academy is the place in which that happens.
To learn more about the Leadership Academy, visit leadershipacademy.org or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
When legal aid is required, what you need most is someone you can trust, as we find out in this next story.
With job security and economic stability at unprecedented lows, there's never been a more important time for workers to have the necessary protections needed in the event of a workplace injury.
I worked in the airline industry since 1984, loading, unloaded aircraft, lifting, pushing, pulling, cargo, mail, suitcases. Took a toll on my body. The scariest injury I had was a slip and fall due to de-icing fluid on a piece of equipment. I had 12 surgeries, hand surgeries, which took like 6-7 weeks, 8 weeks to recover from. Then I had shoulder surgeries, back surgeries, neck surgeries, 3 discs replaced in my neck, many epidurals in my back to alleviate the pain.
With 65 years of experience successfully helping the hardworking men and women of New York and Long Island through the toughest of legal challenges, McIntyre, Donohue, Accardi, Salmonson, and Riordan LLP, MDASR for short, is a law firm that specializes in cases dealing with workmen's compensation, Social Security disability, and much more.
It's pure and simple. We've stayed in business 65 years representing injured workers because we treat them like we would our family members. We listen to their stories with a great deal of compassion and care, and we formulate a plan in order to enable them to work through their problems and get back to work as soon as possible. People get an idea as to when you're really trying to help them. And once that light goes on and you can see that you're going to be able to work together and you can see that they're happy with the plan that you're putting together and that you can really help them, it's just the greatest feeling in the world. I don't know how else to describe it.
I heard of Scott through work. I was at work one day and I saw that he was sincere, a very honest person, and he cared a lot about the employees and what he was doing. So I approached him and I asked him a few questions. I was very happy with his answers. Right away, I just turned my cases over to him, and from then on, any other injury that occurred or whatever, I just called them.
We try to help our clients from the moment they walk in the door in any capacity possible. We then sit down and we take a look at what's going on with them. If it may be a more minor injury, we may start with referring them to doctors that are familiar with the New York State Workers' Compensation System, that are familiar with the paperwork, because getting the paperwork right will expedite treatment and care. It's been my experience in my 20 years doing this and our 65 years in practice that people with attorneys tend to do better than those without attorneys. Insurance companies are going to have attorneys representing their interests. Like it or not, clients do better when they have an attorney representing their interests on their side. We know what the law is. We know what our abilities to get settlements and litigate cases if need be, and we can fully explain that to the client. The client at the end of the day is our boss. The client is going to make the calls, but our job is to provide them with information. We give them information so that they can make decisions. With our help, we'll give them an idea as to what we've seen in court, what the judges are likely to do, what kind of obstacles they're up against, but it's our job to kind of help them know when it's time to push in terms of litigation and when a judge might not be so favorable to their case and settlement might be more appropriate.
My financial situation was hard, but with the help of Scott and his firm, I was able to survive.
The vast majority of our clients do go back to work, so people shouldn't be afraid that if they consult with us as attorneys that they're not going to be able to return to work. Sometimes, unfortunately, a certain percentage of these injuries become career-ending. And when that happens, we can help out with other services like Social Security disability, sometimes disability retirement. Certain unions and certain jobs will allow people to collect a heightened pension if they have to retire in part due to the injury.
Finally, after my last surgeries, talking to Scott under his advice and the advice of my doctors, I decided to finally retire and put in for permanent disability. As far as my cases, with this help and the help of this firm, I was able to be compensated for the right damages that I suffered.
People are often confused, they're often scared when they get hurt on the job. They don't know which way to turn. Many times people are afraid that attorneys can be intimidating. They're afraid that they can't afford an attorney. In terms of attorney's fees, our firm and the entire industry only gets paid on the cases if we're able to get people money or financial benefits in court. Come in, tell us your story. With 65 years worth of experience and offices in Nassau, Suffolk, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, and Westchester, and 19 attorneys and the balance of the support staff to go along with that, we have more than ample skills to be able to help our clients resolve their issues with regard to these cases.
For more information and to contact McIntyre, Donohue, Accardi, Salmonson, and Riordan, LLP, visit icomplaw.com or just check out our website, thebalancingact.com.
What's happening in your local community? Let's find out.
Shopping for a new car, truck, or van isn't exactly a beloved universal pastime. In fact, the process can be daunting, frustrating, and lengthy.
So I've had one major car dealership experience. We bought a small car. It was our first time buying from a dealership, so we really didn't know much, and we also didn't ask questions.
I bought a lot of vehicles in the past while being stationed in the military. The experience I hated most about car buying is the not knowing, the hidden fees. I was definitely taken advantage of because of my age.
It was a lot of paperwork, which we've never done before. It was a little bit of haggling. I think because we were young buyers, we were definitely taken advantage of in terms of the interest rate.
The negative perceptions that customers have, or their fear, is that they're going to get ripped off when they walk into a showroom.
Luckily, Route 22 Nissan is committed to modernizing, streamlining, and simplifying the vehicle shopping experience.
What Route 22 Nissan does to make people feel comfortable, first of all, a welcoming smile, not feeling that they're going to get taken advantage of. We're very transparent. We make them feel welcome. We go through a needs analysis with the customer in our sales process. We explain to them what we're going to do before it even happens. We explain to them how their trade is going to be appraised. We explain to them how the financing is going to be arrived at. We make it transparent so they feel comfortable, they feel easy.
They looked at me as a person. They answered all my questions. They were super patient. They weren't on me trying to get me in and get me out of there. He asked me what I wanted. That was important to me. He's like, what do you want? What do you want to pay? That was comforting because not many dealers will give you that option.
Route 22's slogan is the smart way to buy. We have a process, program for our customers so that they reap some benefits from it. They earn points. They can earn up to $2,500 towards their next purchase by servicing their vehicle here and keeping it well maintained. We have a 5-day, 500-mile return exchange policy. So if the car doesn't work out right for them, they have the comfort, the ease, no questions asked, boom, we'll make an exchange, no problem, 1, 2, 3. You know, if they take a longer drive than a regular test drive, they say, hey, listen, this car doesn't really fit right for me. Or, hey, you know, I really should have gotten the bigger model, or I should have gotten the smaller model, which gave me better gas mileage. So it gives that customer the ease, the comfort, the confidence in making that purchase. And it's a big purchase. Route 22 specializes in special credit. People have things that happen in their life that makes their credit score a little bit challenged, and we can help them out with that. We'll tailor it to what they need. We'll work with them on getting a payment that's going to be affordable for them. We also offer different types of financing, like leasing a vehicle, a short-term finance where it's a 24-month finance to a 72, 84-month finance for our customer. And we have 24-month leasing and 36-month leasing, 48-month leasing for vehicles. It's whatever the customer needs.
So we had no intention of buying a new car that day. We just came in to look and browse, and I saw the car that I've been wanting for a while, and I was like, I don't think it's feasible. So when we actually sat down and talked to a sales rep, he really gave us what we wanted, and I was really excited.
The thing about Route 22 is that I didn't feel taken advantage of. All my questions were answered. They were very helpful and straightforward.
What I would say to a customer that's out there looking for a vehicle, this is a friendly place to purchase a vehicle. It's very transparent, meaning you'll see everything before you even make that purchase.
To someone who's looking for a new car, definitely recommend Route 22 Nissan. They take care of you, and like I said, you'll leave with what you want. You don't settle, so 100% I would recommend them.
I'm definitely coming back after my 3-year lease.
To check out the fantastic selection of vehicles and set up an appointment to visit Route 22 Nissan, visit route22nissan.com or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
They've been a family-owned business for over 90 years. Lewis Bakeries was founded by 3 brothers who mortgaged their mom's house for $300 and opened a bakery in a southern Illinois cabin. The bread was delivered daily by Model T trucks to local homes nearby. But because it is so good, it has grown to become a national favorite. And today, my junior sous chefs and I are rising to the challenge and creating healthy sandwiches using their delicious half-loaf breads. Meet the crew. Daphne and Lena, give a wave.
Hi.
Are you kids ready to have some fun?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, here we are. We're at our sandwich making stations, and we polled our panel, and they told us some of our favorites. What's your favorite sandwich? You have one particular one when you come home from school, you're like, yeah, I want to have a what?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly? I can make peanut butter and jelly happen. I got peanut butter, I got jelly. How about you, little one? What's your favorite sandwich?
My favorite sandwich is pretty much everything.
Okay, everything? Then how about you make one I like? Some Nutella and some fluff. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get our cutters out and start making our bread look ready for kid-like things. What do you want to use this one? You like this one. You said it looks like an eye before.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, let's do this. You're going to do the cutout. You're going to put it in the bread, push down, and cut it out. You want to be a star? You want to be a big star or a sun?
Sun.
You want to be a sun? Okay. Get on there and give it a good push. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be a star. We have all the things here to make our sandwiches, including Lewis Bakery's half loaves. There are 16 different flavors, and today we're using 3 of the most popular: the nutty oat, the Hawaiian, and the honey wheat. So let's get creative. Right now, the kids are going to cut out everything. I'm going to take this scrap bread. Don't think we're going to throw it away. We're going to take this, kick it over to the side, and we're going to make some bread pudding for dessert tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. All right, kids, do your cutouts, assemble your sandwiches. I'm going to be back here for a taste test in a minute. Well, the whole time, I got a few tricks up my sleeve over here. Check it out. After all, look, half loaves are genius. They're great for singles, small households, or big families like mine. I like variety in my house, so we like to mix it up a little bit. Over here, check this out. This is the ultimate club sandwich. It's a club I want to get invited to. There's ham, there's turkey, there's bacon, there's tomatoes, there's hard-boiled eggs, sprouts, all made right here with the whole wheat. Check this out, nutty oat. You want to make a nutty oat avocado toast? I got mashed avocado and oven-roasted tomatoes, a little bit of fresh basil and olive oil on top. Incredible. And then right here, 12 grain. Berries and cream cheese for a breakfast grilled cheese sandwich. These are absolutely amazing and delicious, but I have to tell you that my favorite one right here really is this. My new friend, Joey Buck. He's got hair made of carrot, he's got eye made of cucumbers and olives, a nose, and the whole time the Hawaiian bread gives him a place to stick his big cheesy teeth out of. Hey kids, how you doing over there?
Good. Good.
What are we doing? What's this looking like? You look like a star. You look like a sun. You look like a star. Oh, look at that. Oh, I can better to see you with.
It's a forehead eye.
That is a forehead eye. That's like the evil eye. All right,
Yeah.
so let's start putting these things together. Why don't you start assembling some sandwiches? Now, you told me that you happen to think that this bread is the best bread that you've ever tasted before.
Yes.
And how old are you?
8.
So in your 8 years of experience, this is the best bread you've ever had?
Yes.
Yes. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right, I'm going to put one together too here. I'm going to put a little cream cheese and a little bit of grape jelly over here. This is nice. I'm going to put my star on top of here like that. This is a healthy way to start the day. Let's talk about healthy life products. Folks on a healthier diet might not eat that much bread because it can be high in certain nutrition elements like calories or carbs or fat. Lewis Bakery's Healthy Life flavors are a better choice. They've got a sugar-free option, and right now, back at the lab, they've got a keto-friendly bread coming out in the making. This is going to be absolutely incredible. And for more information where you can find this luxurious, delicious bread, go to lewisbakeshop.com or visit our website, thebalancingact.com. Remember, this has been a quick bite. Well, that's pink. I like that. Remember, kids, let's take a bite out of this. But chew slowly.
Well, there are more and more benefits than ever when it comes to using essential oils.
That's right. From helping our immune system to sanitizing our hands or just providing stress relief, they literally have become essential.
And here to tell us all about it is Mr. Anthony Pedrazzo, who's the president and CEO of SpaRoom. Welcome to the show, Anthony.
Hello, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
I love this, and the smells are just, I wish we had like smell-o-vision, Montel,
Absolutely.
Right? Because we have lavender, eucalyptus, hundreds in between. Essential oils, Anthony, they're just so beneficial. Why?
Aromatherapy, as we all know, has been used for centuries. It's been more evident that consumers are realizing the actual therapeutic and health benefits of them. Essential oils can boost your mood or even provide immediate relief when needed. For example, you have lavender, which is relaxing, peppermint, which is refreshing, and eucalyptus, which is invigorating. The two most common ways to enjoy are diffusing and a topical application, which these are not ingestible. Overall, the use of aromatherapy can make a positive impact on your mind and body.
Now, something that's become a part of our daily lives right now is hand sanitizers.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to us a little bit about how you're helping when it comes to hand sanitizers.
Our focus as the nation's leading aromatherapy brand was to not only meet the CDC guidelines of 60% alcohol, but also provide a product that will moisturize your skin and smell great.
And we should know that some of these essential oils like lemon and even some of the orange